and welcome to my channel. My name is Mandy and I'm a full-time reseller. And today we are going to go over ThredUp's new Consignment Pro option. If you've never heard of ThredUp before, they are essentially an online thrift store where you can send in your items. They can list them for you. You can strictly send them in to donate. They take the photos, they store it, you can get your items back, but there are a lot of fees associated with that. So the traditional bags, I will put that in quote, that's how they started. They would send you like this really big poly mailer and you would fill it up and then send it. They would take the photos, they would do the measurements, they'd put the listings up, they would store it, and then they would ship it to whoever ends up buying it. They still do have that option. You can use your own boxes, but there have been quite a few new fees that they have put in place. This is just my opinion, but I think fairly quickly after they started doing that, they realized that they were losing quite a bit of money. Before, I think it used to be you could send it in, you paid the $14.99, then there was an additional fee for getting the items returned back to you if they didn't accept them. Then they would get listed onto their website, and then after so many days you could request to have them back. At that point, I don't believe that there was even a return shipping fee on there. So as time went on, I'm sure that they realized, hey, we're paying way too much in shipping, so then there was a shipping charge that they added to it. Then they added a $5.99 fee for each individual item that you wanted returned. So I mainly use ThredUp right now as a last resort. That means that I have listed the item, put them on the different platforms, I have sent out offers, I have done big discounts on that item. If nothing seems to happen there, I will pull it. I will potentially send it to Plato's. If they don't take it, I will potentially put it in a rummage sale. If it doesn't sell there, then I will send it to ThredUp. So I am not expecting to get any of these items back. I'm just hoping to get some sort of payment. But that is with the old way then. Today we are talking about the new Consignment Pro. I don't believe that everyone has had the option to sign up. I do have two accounts. I have one that is very old, prior to 2020. And on that one, I did want to do just a quick little update on that. If you watched my last video on ThredUp, it's about if it's still profitable. I had talked in that video about there were some YouTube creators that were saying that they would send in Shein, Old Navy, Forever 21, the lower end brands, and ThredUp was listing those brands. And then other people were saying, well, I send it and then they're rejecting it. So I looked a little bit into that. I do remember before they made that change, earlier in like 2020, you were able to send in anything. I mean, not anything, but any brand, and they would potentially list it. At one point, they put a cutoff on lower end brands that they were only selling for, like $12. So they didn't deem that it was worth their time to then split commission. And they said pretty much like, no, we're not going to list them. But when that happened, I'm pretty sure that they said, I don't know if it was publicly said, but there was kind of some talk that if you had an older account, your account would kind of just get to squeeze in and you'd still get to have those brands listed. So I wanted to look into that and see if that was true. So I did do a couple different boxes on both accounts. On my oldest account, I will show you here in a little bit once we kind of go over the new, I'm looking at the screen right now, over the new consignment process, that they do take those brands on my old account, but on my newer account, they don't. So if you have signed up from, I don't even know, I'm not exactly sure what the date was when that cut off. I would say probably like 2021 would be my guess. So if you have an older account than that, they potentially will still list those for you. But if you started an account today, I don't believe that they do. Or it could just be that they pick and choose. I'm not really sure. ThredUp is kind of a crazy company and they make up rules as they go. So enough about that. Now we are going to get into the new program. I'm actually going to flip you around so you can see my computer. We will look at all the benefits that they are promoting for this, and I will go in and click into all of their little small print items. And then we will take a look at some of the boxes that I have so you can see, depending on brand, if this would be worth it for you. I will just say that this seems to be geared more towards designer items or higher value items. So I will just flip you around now so you can see what I'm talking about. Okay, so we are currently on the ThredUp website, and here it is showing you that on this account, I can sign up for their beta program for the Consignment Pro service. So here they are saying you are going to pay a flat fee of $35. That's just to get your label. They are offering you 100% acceptance rates. It is saying that they will also even list damaged or slightly flawed items. So here, I don't believe that this was in the verbiage that I saw on my first account when they showed this, that it says, once we process your kit, you designate which items are pro. So I think when I first was asked to do this, it was made to kind of seem like everything would had to be pro. So I'm not exactly sure what that looks like. You will get 100% payout. So you earn 100% of the selling price after a $15 fee per item. Okay, so you're ready at $35 for the label. Then it's going to be $15 per item that they list. So you have to keep in mind on how much they are selling that item for. ThredUp always has sales going. I think majority, it's like 60 to 45% off is what I see for sale items. That might change with this. It doesn't say that in there. Pro items have a 60-day consignment window. Right now, my stuff has 90 days. So if you click into this, how this works, this part down here is very interesting to me. We'll look at this top part in a minute, but it says here, they did say that they will list items that are flawed, but here it says if there are large stains, they are not going to, and they will send those back to you at no extra charge. But here, the $15 fee per pro item covers these extra features. So you have the ability to adjust pricing, edit additional item details, and a longer time frame to reclaim your items. I'm not really sure what that means. Right now, I think you have 7 days to reclaim that item, and then you have to pay $5.99 back. And I can still adjust the pricing to a certain extent with my current labels, and I'm able to go in and put like descriptive words. So to me, that doesn't really seem like that big of a benefit. And it also says here, this is the main thing that I think people might miss if they are not reading the fine print. It says the fee is deducted from your total kit earnings, even if your item does not sell within the 60-day consignment. So that means, let's just say you had 10 items, you're paying $15 per item to have them listed, plus you are also adding that $35 just for the label. So you're already at $185 in fees. So that would mean that each of those items, you would have to make quite a bit of money to recoup just to pay them back in the fees, not even talking about you making any type of profit. Then it says you may reclaim your items at any time for $5.99. So let's say that only 5 of those 10 items sold and you want to get those items back. So you were already at $185 in fees just for everything to be listed, and now you want to get those back. Now we're looking at $214.95 in fees to get your items back. It says if your item does not sell within the 60 days, you may choose not to reclaim it. At that point, it is just ThredUp's property, and that is what goes into those ThredUp boxes. Or I have also seen that they just keep it up on their website, because I was curious once what they were doing with some of my items that had been past the time, and they were still up there. So I don't really understand how they get away with that. To me, that just seems kind of like theft, but I guess, once you click OK on all the fine print on these labels, you are essentially saying it's no longer my, property. But so right here, they're showing you the same type of breakdown that I just showed you, but this is saying for just 4 items. So they're saying first item sells for $100. So you'd have to have something that is worth $100, first of all, that you're sending in. To me, that this breakdown isn't very realistic unless you are doing designer items or something definitely more substantial. So if we click back out of here, it's also saying you're going to get VIP rush processing within 2 weeks of receiving. I don't believe that. I don't believe anything they say when it comes to rush processing anything. At one point, they offered you another fee that you could do that, and they would do rush processing, and there was a bunch of times that they did not get that within that time frame. So that I don't believe. Edit items, listings, including brand, price, and any special details. We'll look at a current box that I have. I'm pretty sure I can do that right now. And then full service, including shipping label, inspection and authentication, photography, listing, storage, packaging, and shipping, and customer support. They're already doing all of that with just the traditional label. So I'm not going to get on the wait list, but I am going to show you a current box just so you can see some of what I'm sending them, what I'm making. Okay, so this box here just went live yesterday. If we click into edit item details, it's loading here. So in here, I can flag the issue. If there's an issue for photography, I can add details. I can change my price. I can put in different colors, descriptions, features, fit. It looks like the only thing I cannot do is change the brand. It looks like that's the only feature that was different compared to what I currently have. So we'll just go back. So on this kit here, we will click in. They took a total of 49 of my items, and we'll just quickly go through some of this so you can see kind of what the payout is. This is without them adding any discounts. With the majority of the things that people do buy of my items, it's on some sort of discount. So Eva Franco, $431, Susan Graver, $236. This Calvin Klein dress for $11, that seems a little far-fetched to me. Adriana Papel casual dress, $10. Tote & Co skirt, $320. Eileen Fisher jacket, $29.16. I did eventually just pull all of my Eileen Fisher. I can't sell it myself, so I just had ThredUp go for it. A 9 West dress, this was a $592. And Taylor Loft pants, $373. Kara and Sky, so see, that's a Walmart brand. They do take the lower end stuff, 87 cents. Old Navy, $320. H&M pants, $186. Shein, $211. A Lulu's dress, $664. Okay, so now this one is a pending sale. So if you click over this hovered thing, the item was listed for $12.99. They used a coupon to get $10.36. So my potential payout is only 66 cents. With that new payment structure, if I had put this in the Pro consignment or whatever that thing's called, I would have lost almost $5 on this. So if this would have been an item in that consignment box for the Pro consignment, I would have lost money. I would have gotten $10.38 because you get 100% of the sale, but they're taking $15. So I would have lost almost $5 on this sale. So if we go out of here into one of my other kits here where there's more items sold. Okay, so if we look at these, this Grace Karen tuxedo vest, the price was $28.99. So I would have made $28.99 minus the 15. I would have made $13.99 on that. So that maybe would have been beneficial. But this bodysuit, I would have lost money. Altered State sweater, I would have lost money. Leota casual dress, I would have made some money. Lulu's dress, I would have made some money. So you would really have to look at what you're sending, because the majority of the stuff that I am giving to ThredUp is lower end. As you can see by my payouts, I'm not getting very much. So like this one, these Chico's jeggings, even though I made $18.18 and I'm getting that, I still have to pay $15 plus that $35 fee flat. So you really have to watch what you're sending to them and see if it is beneficial for you to do that. And the other thing to keep in mind with that is you pay that $15 fee regardless if that item sells or not, because you're essentially paying them to do, I don't even know what the extra work is because it's no different than what they're doing. So I would just definitely make sure that you're looking at what potential payouts could be before you would put them in a box to send, because you could end up losing money. On my newest account, they had put up this little thing that my current account has asking if I was interested in it. So I did click yes, I would be interested. And then it was like a couple weeks later, they just flipped my account to only this. So I had to message them and say, hey, I need you to flip me back to the old labels. I do not want to do this. It did take a while because they kept saying, oh yeah, it should be good. And it wasn't. So I think I had to reach out 3 times. But they eventually did fix it. I did have one of the customer service reps just ask why I wasn't interested. And I just let them know that I thought that this was definitely more geared towards luxury items, higher end items, and that's not what I send them. The only things that just kind of deter me from this, I don't find luxury items very often. If I have higher end items, I would prefer to sell them myself. And honestly, I don't trust ThredUp with higher end items. I've seen many horror stories. I've had them lose boxes of mine before. I've had them lose portions of boxes before. Like one time, half of my box just went into unavailable after it had already been posted. I had to reach out and ask, hey, what's going on? And they said that they just they were unable to locate the items. And I was like, okay, so now what? They did pay me out for what the payment would have been, but I don't know if they would have said anything if I wouldn't have said anything. So ThredUp as a company, not a huge fan. Most of the time, they don't let you know these changes very far in advance. It's like, hey, starting tomorrow, we're no longer doing this or this. And it's like, you know, you kind of are caught off guard. So that is another reason why I always say it is so good to make sure that you are cross-listing and that you have different avenues for income. I saw back in, when was that? 2021 or 2022, somewhere, where ThredUp made like this big change where I think you could only get so many labels at a time and all the different fees. And a lot of people were completely caught off guard because this was their only source of income. They were, you know, bin shoppers. They were buying from the bins, sending in multiple boxes weekly and getting paid from ThredUp. And then when all of a sudden something changes, you know, you don't want to be caught in that position where this is the only source that you have. So unfortunately, unless you own your own website or you're strictly selling in person, that you are at the whim of all of these companies. I mean, tomorrow Poshmark could say, sorry, we are closing. That's what they did with their overseas platforms. So I think it is very essential if you want your business to grow and to continue to make sure that you are using different apps or different places to sell. So in the comments below, let me know if you have tried this. I would love to hear what your experience has been. You know, if it went well, if it went bad. I don't know. I just don't really see this going well unless it's someone that maybe is selling their own personal designer items and they are not a reseller. Maybe this would be beneficial. But everything that I'm reading, it just kind of seems like a money grab. If you have not done this yet, let me know if this is something that maybe interests you and why that is. And as always, if you enjoyed today's video, please make sure to give it a like. It really helps out the channel and I really appreciate it. I will see you on the next one. Bye.